These are members of the French military. They are in the middle of an exercise codenamed Aster X, the first ever French military exercise in space. Sitting inside the French Space Command operations room, these servicemen conducted 18 simulated events. A promotional video shows China, Iran, Russia, North Korea, and the United States listed as allies and adversaries of France. The French say space is being militarized and they need to prepare. The threat is real. By 2019, more than 2,000 satellites were floating above the Earth, and almost everyone in the modern world depends on them. Satellites help us communicate through our smartphones. They are needed for emergency response during natural disasters. And now, even militaries depend on satellites for intelligence gathering, navigation, and military communications. Any attack on a satellite could have catastrophic consequences. It could cut off communications of an entire nation and blind its military. The idea of bringing down satellites is no longer a figment of imagination. It has been around since the Cold War. Today, major countries have a space weapon of their own. In 2007, China tested a space weapon that destroyed one of its own satellites. The strike left behind a lot of debris. It kept floating in space and posed a serious threat to other satellites. Russia and India too have anti-satellite weapons. In the past, they have shot down their own satellites in a show of force. The United States tested an anti-satellite missile attack in 1985. Under Donald Trump, America took its bid for space dominance a step further by creating a Space Force, a dedicated branch of the US Armed Forces. Last year, the Space Force deployed its first troops, not in space but to an airbase in Qatar, where they will assist in combat operations that depend on space systems. A study has now advocated that the US should build more space weapons, as more countries are now investing in technologies like missiles, jammers, lasers, and cyber attack systems to take down satellites. This warning applies to every country in the world which has a satellite in space. And now, with the private sector launching space missions and satellites, protecting space assets may now be vital to a country's national security.